So, welcome to PBS Pulse, the Port Business School podcast that keeps you informed on the trends shaping the future of business. Today, we are here to join and to receive Joshua Levine. We will be discussing what does really mean leveraging technology in business. So, Joshua, welcome to PBS.
Thank you.
And thank you for accepting our invitation.
No, my pleasure.
So, to start, I would like to ask you about this first question is, most businesses are inherently transactional, and that drives everything, leadership, hierarchies, compensation, and so on. Technology initiatives do not really conform to top-down thinking unless it is transformational-like. Put a man on the moon by the end of the decade. So, how do you make business technology more transformational?
The important part is that you only have a certain amount of money to spend on technology. And you have to think about everything that you have in terms of that amount of money to spend. So there are foundational initiatives that you have to take, like keeping the lights on, the computers, the networks, and so on. You have transactional things that are related to the business itself. How do we make money? And all those systems and projects that go into making money. And then whatever's left over is transformational. Mm-hmm. And that usually gets squeezed out to zero, because everybody's focused on the day-to-day. So it's very important for leadership to recognize that you have to leave time for transformational initiatives, that people have to be able to think about the customer and come up with ideas that will make a difference.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
So, but in an era where technology is advancing so quickly, what strategies can leaders adopt to ensure that the technology initiatives are not only implemented effectively, but also that embrace as core part of their business culture?
Yeah, so if you go to Apple, which is probably the leading innovator that everybody thinks about, if you go to Apple, and you listen to what they're talking about new product all the time. Mm-hmm. And if you go to a car company, they're talking about a new product all the time. They have to come out with a new product every 6 months, every year. You go to a normal business, they don't talk about new products. They talk about how they're not even able to get the products that they started building 3 to 5 years ago out the door. So leadership has to understand that in order to actually leverage technology, they have to make everything smaller in terms of projects. We're not going to change everything overnight. So we're going to change this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. And then make sure you have time to rewrite the first thing that you did. Mm-hmm. Because in order to be transformational, you have to accept that products are always growing and adapting. I have an iPhone 15. Could you imagine being on an iPhone 2? You would be very unhappy. But in most businesses, that's exactly what they have. They have 10, 15, 20-year-old systems that they're using.
Mm-hmm. So, but how can they avoid the transactional mindset and instead drive meaningful change?
They have to trust that their technology people can actually work on transforming the company. They have to allocate time and projects, transformational projects, things that are creative, things that help you think about doing better for the customer. So people have to understand the customer, do better for the customer, and that has to be cut out from the rest of the technology spend.
Okay. Joshua, as someone deeply experienced in regulatory risk, what do you see as the key challenges for companies when adopting transformative technologies, particularly heavily regulated industry?
So the key with a regulator is to build a culture of compliance. That is, the regulator would believe that you are following the rules. And there's plenty of room within the rules to do things. But if you think something may be edgy, every regulator I've worked with accepts that I can come to them and say, we're thinking of doing this. Is it going to violate anything? And usually the regulator helps you navigate those waters. The wrong people to go to are your own compliance people, because your own compliance people only say no. There is no middle ground. But if you go to a banking regulator or a securities regulator, show them what you want to work on. Invariably, they'll help you because they want to see innovation.
Okay.
They really do.
Because putting together innovation and compliance, it's hard. It contains a lot of challenge.
I don't think so. I think that, if you want to come out with a product that is obviously nefarious, that you're going to take a big premium and the customer is going to get hurt, and that's going to happen, well, you probably shouldn't come out with that product anyway. And when I talk to people in financial services, they're not thinking about their customer. They don't talk about their customer making money. They talk about themselves making money. And in order to grow, your customers have to make money.
Of course, this is the main purpose of every business.
Right?
Yeah. Another curiosity, the concept of leveraging technology can mean different things across industries. In your opinion, what are the critical components that define true digital transformation, and what role does executive leadership play in shaping these initiatives, in your opinion, Joshua?
That is a very big question.
You can cut it in two.
That's a very big question. So, digital transformation is a code word, I find, for some old line company that wants to become a new line company. But really, the transformation goes back to the customer. What are we selling? How can we do it better? How can we do a better product for the customer? What would it look like? And, usually the people who work on the old line product have great ideas for a real transformative project. They always get shot down, but they have great ideas for it. And leadership should talk to them and should help them understand the customer better, because technology touches everyone. And the more you get technology into the hands of the customer, the better your product's going to be and the stickier it is to your company. Right? You want a sticky product, and the only way to get that is to understand the customer and deliver for them.
Okay. Thank you so much, Joshua.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on PBS Pulse, where we keep you connected to the future of business with expert insights at Joshua.
Thank
and
you.
Stay tuned for our next episode.
Thank you very much.